Today we are going to start with IELTS speaking module, and in the first couple of minutes I'm going to discuss the very first few questions which they are going to ask you whenever you go for your speaking test. So whenever you enter the room where there is the examiner, there is a small cabin, one side examiner, one side you, or one side laptop or desktop and one side you, because it can be remote speaking with remote examiner sitting somewhere in another country, or it can be physical speaking. There can be the examiner in front of you, but anyways you don't have any choice. Whatever the test is, you just have to go on with that. Mostly they provide you physical examiners, but sometimes they change it as well. So you cannot say I need physical examiner, I don't need this laptop and all that. You just have to go on with your speaking. Now first of all, they're going to ask you a few questions like, may I know your full name? It's because they want to match your name with your ID document. So your ID document can be your CNIC or it can be your passport. So they will ask you what's your full name, or may I know your full name? So that means your official name. Like my full name is Muhammad Asad Yaqub. So you can just tell your full name. Then how may I address you? Now how may I address you does not mean I live on Link Road, Model Town, house number this and block number this and all that. How may I address you? Address means call. So whenever they say how may I address you, it means how do they call. So I can say you may call me Asad, right? And it's not necessary that they will ask all these questions. Sometimes they don't have time. Examiners are busy, 20 candidates every day per examiner, right? Sometimes even more. So they don't have time for all these formalities, or we call it ladiyan. Okay. Next, may I see your ID card? When they say may I see your ID card, you will say here it is, or you can say sure, or you can say why not. May I see your ID card? Of course. May I see your ID card? Here it is. May I see your ID card? There you are. There you are. All these phrases have the same meaning, ye lichiye and all that. Next, they may ask you, do you work or study? Now this is very important question, because the rest of the questions of the examiner, they depend on this question. So do you work or study? Now if you study and you know better how you want to handle the questions, right? Like when I had my IELTS test at first test, then I told them I'm a student and I was very comfortable. I just imagined myself as a student. In fact, at that time, I was a spoken English teacher. But they said, do you work or study? I said, I study. I've just completed my master's and these days I'm working on some projects. That's it. And then they took me as a student and I was very happy, enjoying and answering all the questions as a student. So it depends on you. There are three possible options. Do you work or study? I study and I've just completed my graduation, post-graduation, intermediate and all that. Do you work or study? I work. I've just finished my studies and at the moment I'm doing a job in a local university as a lecturer, right? Or do you work or study? Well, I'm a homemaker. I stay home to take care of my family. That's it. And don't prolong this answer. Do you work or study? Some people work, some people study. Today you want to know whether I work or study. I'm very much happy that you asked me. Now, don't speak anything which is not relevant, okay? Now, after that, examiner will pick up a topic. Any topic. We've got the topics in the book. There are around 150 topics, and out of those 150 topics in actual exam, examiner will pick up 1, 2 or 3 topics. If your answers are reasonable, one topic, 5 to 6 questions. And if your answers are not reasonable, then maybe 2 topics, 3 topics or up to 4 topics. Now what is a reasonable answer? A reasonable answer contains 5 to 6 sentence explanation for speaking part 1. They ask you a question, you give direct answer, you elaborate your answer in 3 sentences, and then you conclude your answer. So in total, you have to make 5 to 6 sentences for each answer. This is a reasonable answer. No matter you think the answer to this question should be in 1 word. For example, if they ask you, do you enjoy your weekend? Say, yes, I do. See, so even if they don't ask you why, you have to assume that there is a why at the end of the question. So for example, they say, do you enjoy your weekend? Yes, why not? I literally enjoy my weekend and I wait for the weekend for 5 days, and when I have that Friday night, because my weekend starts from Friday night. I really enjoy. I go out with my friends and we have late night sittings. Sometimes I give time to my family on the weekend, like that. Because you're going to demonstrate your English language skills. So once you speak 5 to 6 sentences, then how will you speak? Direct answer, elaborate your answer, and then conclude your answer. So every question they ask you, you're going to answer like this, one thing. Second thing is, if your answers are short or if you're not willing to talk, in that case, examiner will ask you more questions. They ask you question, tell me about your hometown. My hometown is beautiful. Where do you live? In my house. If your answers are like this, they will ask you more and more questions, because examiner has speaking test time, and that speaking test time is 11 to 13 minutes. So even if you don't answer, if your answers are short, get ready for more questions. They will ask you more questions because they have to spend 11 to 13 minutes with you. And if your answers are reasonable, direct answer, elaborate your answer, conclude your answer. If examiner says why not, it means your answer is short. You need to add more. You need to answer why not. And if examiner interrupts you and says, okay, thank you, it means your answer was getting longer and they don't need that long answer. Okay. Understand the question and answer according to the question, and do not just give an indirect answer. Do not comment the question. Do not say, this is a very good question. I'm happy that you asked me this question. You don't need to comment the question. And when you start your answer, you can start with the positive emotion. For example, they say, do you go out with your friends on the weekends? Why not? This is the best part of my weekend activities. See, like this. What's your favorite color? All right, that's a tricky question. Actually, I like two colors, and one of them is black and the other one is brown. Something like that. You need to enjoy your speaking test. Okay, and do not parrot the question after the examiner. Parrot. What is parroting? What do you do in your free time? In my free time, I do. This is parroting. What is your favorite book? My favorite book is. This is parroting. So you need to avoid parroting. Now, if you avoid parroting, then what should you do? They say, what's your favorite book? Well, I love to recite the Holy Quran. This is our religious book and I like this book very much. It is all about life, how a human being should spend life. So to answer your question, I love to recite the Holy Quran whenever I have time. Got it? Like this you need to answer. So answers should be frank. You need to enjoy your speaking test. And remember, your speaking test is personal. Personal means you have to answer the questions in your own way. Right? If I ask same question from him, from her, you will give different answers because this is personalized answer. So always give personal answer, especially when they ask you a question with you. Do you, will you, did you? You need to answer using I. Don't use we, don't use you, just use I. Yes, if the question is with do we, and they hardly ask any question with we, they mostly ask question with you. Do you get up early in the morning? What is your favorite color? What do you do on the weekend? So you need to answer in personal capacity like I. Don't add your family, we do this, we do that. You can say, yes, I go out with my family and we enjoy a lot. Like this, you can do that, okay? And finally, in speaking part 1, examiner will ask you 5 to 10 questions. You have to look at the examiner, understand every question. If you do not understand the question, ask the examiner to repeat the question. They will repeat the question and then you can just go on. And even if you don't understand, sometimes they change the question. Otherwise, you can ask them to elaborate the question. They will elaborate the question as well. All these things are there, right? And don't be tensed that, hey, it is my speaking test. I don't know what is going to happen. This is the shortest test. Listening and speaking, they are the short ones. Like listening takes 25 minutes only. This speaking takes 11 to 13 minutes only, and that's it, game over. So in 11 to 13 minutes, you have to perform well, okay? Now, when we talk about the marking criteria of the examiner, it's very simple and straightforward. We have band score from 1 band to 9 band. 1 band means non-user of English and 9 band means expert user of English. Even then, there are some mistakes when, they have categorized, we call it band descriptors. So they have band descriptors, even for 9 band, they accept minor mistakes. That is why in listening with 39 correct answers, you get 9 band. In reading with 39 correct answers, you get 9 band. Okay, so they give you a little leverage because you are non-native speakers of English language, right? Now, 4 marking criteria. The first criteria is your fluency. You need to speak fluently. Do not repeat yourself. Do not say the same thing again and again. Repetition of words, repetition of ideas, and then doing a lot of and then after that like that. So you should avoid that, and for that you need practice. In English we call it your talk time in English. For example, if I ask you this question, for how many hours have you spoken Urdu or Punjabi? And you will say more than 1,000 hours. I speak Urdu every day. I speak Punjabi every day. So my Punjabi talk time is more than 1,000 hours. My Urdu talk time is more than 1,000 hours and all that. But when I talk about your English talk time, it'll be hardly 200 hours, 300 hours and all that. So you need to increase your talk time in English. How to do that? Practice English, speak English, express yourself in English. So once you increase your talk time in English, then you'll be fluent. So fluency comes with repetition. And language is not new. Language is something like the words which I was using 10 years ago. Even today, I communicate using the same words in English, in Urdu, and all that. Hardly we have some new words like new terminologies and all that stuff, but otherwise the language is same. So language is repetition. So once you speak English repeatedly, after that you'll be fluent in English. Okay, so this is the first thing. After this, the second marking criteria is your pronunciation. It's not accent. They will not see whether you speak British English or American English or Canadian English. They will only see whatever you speak is clear, easy to understand. For your pronunciation, pronounce every letter clearly, the first thing. Second, the basic sounds of English, the sound of letter P, T, K, TH sound and all that, okay? And then there is one thing we call it intonation. Now, what is intonation? Intonation is the use of, what do you say, your tone according to the message. Now, if I say, how are you today? How are you today? It's a question. Are you all right? It's a question. Are you all right? It doesn't sound like a question. So the sound, the way you speak, if you say, my favorite color is brown. See, I can see you are talking about your favorite color. I love to drink coffee. I can feel it. And if you say, I love to drink coffee, I love to drink, there is no feeling in it. So you need to express with your tone, and that tone is what we call intonation. intonation, intonation. Then we have stress patterns. You need to stress properly in English. Words like advertisement, words like democracy, words like pronunciation. So you need to learn these. And it's very easy. When you do IELTS listening, the way they speak in IELTS listening, try to speak like that. You'll be fine. Just copy them. And whenever you do listening, do the volume a little higher than normal. See, for example, for you, normal volume is 10. Make it 12 or 13. A bit louder. That will be better. Okay. Next, we have grammar. And in grammar, most importantly, we have tenses first. In IELTS speaking, they will ask you questions in 5 tenses. Present, past, future. And we call them present indefinite. In English books, they call them present simple, past simple, future simple. Do you is present simple. Did you is past simple. Will you is future simple. Then we have present perfect tense. Have you and third form of the verb. And then we have present perfect continuous. How long have you been? And ing form of the verb. How long have you been teaching English? How long have you been learning English? And all that. So these are 5 tenses. Along with that, you need to learn modal verbs. What are modal verbs? Can, could, should, may, might, and all that. Okay. And then most importantly, if your target band is 7 or above, then you have to learn how to make a compound sentence. A compound sentence is when you join 2 sentences. I want to buy a new mobile phone because my old mobile has got virus in it. It's a compound sentence. I want to buy a new mobile phone. My old mobile phone has a virus in it. These are 2 simple sentences. When I connect them, when I synthesize, two sentences, it becomes a compound sentence. So grammar, this much is enough. Use compound sentences and give a variety to the examiner. If your target band is 8 or above in speaking, then you have to use passive voice as well, right? And finally, we have vocabulary, simple. You need to use simple words and variety of words. Everyday English, but there should be a variety of words, words which are spoken and understood. Don't use any specific terminology. For example, you are the student of chemistry and you know some terminologies of chemistry, examiner will not be familiar with them. You are a student of engineering and you use some engineering words with the examiner, so that is not going to help you. Try to use everyday English and variety of words. If the topic is cooking, so use as many words related to cooking, baking, right? Whenever I get a chance, I try to make something new dishes, variety of food, Chinese cuisine, these type of words. So you need to use a variety of words. Don't repeat question vocabulary. Yes, if you want to get 4 band, 4.5 band, then you can repeat question vocabulary. What is that? They ask you a question, what's your favorite food? My favorite food? See, sometimes we repeat the question. What do you do in your free time? What do I do in my free time? Okay, so you don't need to do anything. These type of things will irritate the examiner. So if they say, what's your favorite food? Well, I love to eat pizza. And pizza has been my most favorite since my childhood. I still remember when I was small, my mother used to buy me a pizza. And even today, I like this very much. And whenever I get some time, I go to Pizza Hut to have some nice pizza. So to answer your question, I am fond of eating pizzas. I am fond of. First I said I like. Then I said I am fond of. Okay, so you need to use a variety of words. Otherwise, what's your favorite food? My favorite food is pizza. Pizza is my favorite. Whenever I get chance, I eat pizza. That is why pizza is my very favorite food. Food, pizza, favorite, food, pizza, favorite. You need to come up with a lot of words. For pizza, you can use the word this food. You can use the word fast food. Okay, so use a variety of words and it's going to be fine. So these are 4 marking criteria. In every marking criteria, they will give you band score out of 9 and then they will add all 4 bands divided by 4 and that will be your overall band. For example, pronunciation 7, fluency 7, grammar 6, vocabulary 6. What will be the band? 2 7s and 2 6s is 6.5 band. So like this, you will get your band score. Okay. So speaking is not rocket science. They will ask you questions about yourselves, about your daily routine. You know, for speaking, they have this thing, general questions and familiar topics. Now, what is a general question? Anything. And what is familiar topic? Your mobile phone, your family, your education, your likes, your dislikes, your favorites and all that. So for this, the last thing is, for this, self-knowledge is very important. Now, what is self-knowledge? Somebody asks me a question, what's your favorite color? And I say, oh, I never thought about it. Every color is my favorite. You need to be specific about that. You need to think about it. If they ask you a question, what's your favorite food? So you should be familiar, or you know, this is what I call self-knowledge. You should know what your favorite food is. You should know what you do on the weekend. And finally, in IELTS speaking, if you do not find the real answer, like you don't go anywhere on the weekend or you don't celebrate your birthday, you need to exaggerate your answer. What is exaggeration? They ask you a question, what do you do on your birthday? You say, la hawla wa la quwwat, haza haram. I don't celebrate my birthday, okay? This is not good. If you go towards this side, maybe you don't know the vocabulary for that. Like if you want to say it's forbidden, 1 year of your life goes away, or things like that. So it's better to say, yes, I celebrate my birthday, and then you can do cake cutting and all that stuff. So exaggerate your answer. Exaggerate means to speak and try to explain the things which have not done, but you're still explaining. If they ask you, what do you do on the weekend? On the weekend, I plan to go out with my family, and most of the weekends we enjoy out. And actually you don't go anywhere on your weekend, right? So you need to exaggerate. This is called exaggeration. Through exaggeration, you can speak better. And practice all the topics which are given in the book beforehand, so that when you go there, examiner picks up the topic, hometown, you know already. Okay, so at least your mind should be prepared for that, right? Okay, thank you.